And the question that has been going around a lot lately is, number one, who's going to be in the Fantastic Four? Particularly, who's going to be Reed Richards? Now, the fan casting of the planet Earth was John Krasinski. So Kevin Feige gave him their wish. And John Krasinski popped up in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness as another realities version of Reed Richards. Now, that didn't disqualify him from being Reed Richards moving forward, but they were pretty quick to say that it was a last-second thing. They just thought it would be fun for the fans because the fans wanted it, and maybe for whatever reason, Krasinski's not available or not interested in doing it full-time. They gave the fans kind of what they were looking for, and they popped him in there as a cameo. But they have insisted, even though I haven't always believed it, but they have insisted that he's not going to be Reed Richards moving forward. I still think there's a chance he is. That being said, there have been several names that have popped up. Some of the hotter names that got some traction was the guy from the Netflix show You.
Penn Badgley?
Yeah, Penn Badgley. He's good.
He's great.
I sat down, because ever since he got rumored, I sat down because Ann watches You. I never did, but I sat down and watched a couple of episodes. He's good. He's got a really strong screen presence. And you put a little gray on the sides there, I could see him as a Reed Richards. At any rate. But a while ago, one of the names that started getting tossed around was Adam Driver. Now, when his name started getting tossed around a bit, a bunch of people thought that they were talking about maybe Dr. Doom. And hey, listen, I could totally see an Adam Driver as a Victor Von Doom. I totally could. But that simmered. And now there's a new report that has come out that has some legitimacy to it, and that I found out something about, and I'll follow that up in a second, that is claiming that Adam Driver is not only in consideration, but that he may be in final discussions to lock down being Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. Now, this comes to us from the folks over at Comic Book, or CBR, who wrote, a new report claimed that Adam Driver is in final talks to star in the Marvel Cinematic Universe Fantastic Four reboot. According to reputable scooper Daniel Reitman, Driver is currently finalizing a deal with Marvel Studios to play the Fantastic Four's Reed Richards. All right. Now, right off the top, it needs to be said that this is not the Hollywood Reporter. It is not Variety. It's not Entertainment Weekly. It's an independent. Now, Daniel's got like 300,000 followers on Twitter, but it's an independent scooper who does have a history of getting a number of things correct. Not everything, but a number of things correct. Now, what I will often do is when a report about something comes out and it looks like there could be some legitimacy, I'll put out some feelers myself. I know a number of people in the studio system and producers, whatever. I am a fucking nobody, so 9 times out of 10, they never respond. But 1 time out of 10, every once in a while, they do. So I sent out a note and to somebody who's quasi-connected to the situation, and I asked, is this real? Is this true? I never got a detailed response. The response I got was simply this. I know he has met with them. Now, did not say he is definitely Reed Richards. Did not say, hey, he's definitely in the movie, but he's going to be this character. Didn't say any of that. But what I did get, what I can confirm and what I know now as fact, and only know to this limitation, is that he has met with them. So knowing that, and then you look at what Daniel said, I'm not going to sit here and proclaim that this is true. But I think there's enough possibility here that it's accurate, that it warrants a discussion. Would Adam Driver be a good choice to play Reed Richards? You're damn right he would be. Adam Driver is a fabulous performer and actor. And if you can bring in this caliber of a guy who, quite frankly, you need to get an actor who can give off this presence that they're the smartest guy in the room. I think Adam Driver can give off that presence really easy, that he's the smartest guy in the room. And lest we forget, he's not just the Star Wars boy. All right, take a look at this. Adam Driver has 2 Academy Award nominations. He has 4 Emmy nominations. Yes, of course, he was in the Star Wars films. Yes, but Whether you loved or hated him, he was great in the House of Gucci.
He was fabulous in House of Gucci.
Everybody was fabulous in the House of Gucci.
In their own movies, they were great.
Very different from each other. So, of course, we got the Star Wars movies, House of Gucci. He got an Oscar nomination for Marriage Story. Look, I know Marriage Story, people who like fun, action, exciting kind of movies, maybe you didn't watch Marriage Story. If you want to know how good of an actor Adam Driver is, watch Marriage Story. Watch him and Scarlett Johansson act opposite of each other. It's a clinic. It's a pure, unbelievable joy to watch, even though it breaks your heart the entire time. And then if you really want to know how good he is, then go watch him in Black Klansman. Black Klansman is a magnificent film that won a couple of Academy Awards. He's absolutely incredible in it. And I love, totally different character for him. I loved him with Daniel Craig and Logan Lucky. He was so good in that. Of course, Girls was a pivotal kind of a marquee show for HBO for a long time. And I even really liked him in 65. I know a lot of people didn't like 65. More power to you.
69 was better.
I did. 69 was better.
Taylor, is that you?
65 was really damn good.
Yep.
I liked him a lot. This guy's a powerhouse. He is a pure powerhouse. And if you're Marvel and you can get a guy of this pedigree right now in a time when Marvel at least appears to be on a bit of a decline, it would make such a massive statement if you get a multi-time Oscar nominated, Emmy nominated, like world-class, top of his game kind of actor like Adam Driver to come in and be Reed Richards. You do it. I personally think 100% you do. Now, does that mean Adam Driver would be my number one? Like if I put together a fantasy list that Adam Driver would have been in a vacuum, would have been my top fantasy list pick to be Reed Richards? No, probably not. But once his name gets thrown out there, I'm like, yeah, if you can do it, you sign him. And I think he would bring a veritas to this. I think he would just be awesome. I think he would be absolutely awesome in this role. I'm not saying that there's nobody else who could be better. I'm not saying that. But he would be incredible in this if it were true. I'm willing to go 52% that this is true. So I'm not totally sure, but if I had to make a prediction one way or the other, I'll lean towards it's true, and I would love to see it happen. Anyway, Chris, you heard the rumors. Mm-hmm. We've seen the reports and the whispers that have been going on for months about the possibility of an Adam Driver. What do you think about the legitimacy of this? If it is true, do you like the selection of an Adam Driver? And ultimately, if he were going to be in Fantastic Four, would you prefer to see him as a Reed Richards or a Victor Von Doom? What do you think?
Definitely a Von Doom. Oh my gosh. Because at first blush, it's Adam Driver's a little too cool, it feels, to be Reed Richards. I think he'd be able to handle all of those very morally gray, questionable things that Reed starts doing, right? When we look at, the full scope of what Reed Richards does in the comics and how a lot of his choices are very, very morally corrupt, thinking they're for the betterment of man and mankind. I think he can handle all of those things well. I think it's some of the nerdiness that I'm a little concerned about, but he is such a good actor. I'm sure he can handle it. And I keep trying to just go back to the films I first got introduced to Driver on, like What If, and This Is Where I Leave You, where he is hilarious and charming and so funny. If you haven't seen What If, it is one of the best lines ever, where he just sits down and he goes, I just had sex and now I'm eating nachos. Oh, it's wonderful. He's like, it's the best day of my life.
That's what he did with Daniel Radcliffe, isn't it? Yeah, I really like those two in that movie.
So good. So I can definitely see him in here. Obviously, Marvel has talked to him, I feel like, about numerous projects. I think that it's interesting for him to go this route. And I do, again, thinking back to that early filmography of his, I do want him to do something kind of fun that has some lighthearted things in it. How often does Adam Driver smile in anything anymore? Everything's usually pretty goddamn morose. So unless he's hosting SNL, which he does such a good job on. So I think he'd be a great pick. Like you, he wouldn't be the first name that comes to mind for me. But if that's who they go with, I think they've got a really great actor on their hands.
Have you ever seen the stuff with Adam Driver and John Oliver? Oh my God, that is some of the funniest stuff you could see online.
I love John Oliver so much.
It's so good. And did you see the one with Adam Driver? That was, God, I'm not going to spoil anything of it. Look up Adam Driver. Look up Adam Driver and John Oliver online. And,
it's amazing.
And just be very, very, as far as the nerdiness, I present first act of House of Gucci Adam Driver.
That's true. I mean, he is nerdy in it, but it's still Adam Driver where you're like, man, you're in a shirtless perfume ad. Like, get out of here. Come on.
I don't know.
I don't believe you being like, oh, a woman wants to talk to a me at a party. Like, no, like, sir.
Mario? It's like
it's House of Gucci. Everyone's in Mario.
It's like how Andrew Garfield is supposed to be a really nerdy Peter Parker. It's like,
and he's a little too cool, but I like him because he's a sassy Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he can. I think he could pull off the socially awkward kind of thing as the smartest bookworm in the room.
He probably
yet at the
he's
same
incredible.
time authoritative. You know?
He's an incredible actor. So I don't have any doubts. It's just one of those things of at first blush, it's but he's pretty cool and put together and okay, I guess.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Look, the reports are going around. We cannot confirm that this is true. All I heard, the only thing I got was, I can tell you he has met with them. So there's been meetings, know that. Some reports are going around saying that's final negotiations to be Reed Richards. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. 2 questions for you guys. Number 1, do you think it's legitimate? Do you think we're going to see Adam Driver as Reed Richards? And if so, the second question is, do you like the pick? I personally really do. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, MasterClass. With MasterClass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn filmmaking from James Cameron himself, you know, the guy who made 3 of the 4 biggest films of all time. Improve your writing by taking screenwriting from one of the greatest who's ever done it, Aaron Sorkin. Or maybe learn how to make great comedic content by taking comedy by the one and the only Judd Apatow. And many of you guys know I'm a big poker guy, and I recently got a chance to sit down and watch Daniel Negreanu, one of the greatest poker players in the world, teach poker. It was absolutely fantastic. But guys, whatever you're interested in, there is a class for you with over 180 exclusive classes taught by the instructors you know and love. And you can explore lessons in any order you'd like, across your phone, tablet, Apple TV, computer, and on the go with audio mode. Individual lessons range from about 10 to 15 minutes in length that fit easily into your everyday life. Guys, I highly recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass.